Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to work on some fairy ears. Now, we'll probably just get the base part made, the blank as I call them, because it takes a while to do, but you can't make one without it. So I figured I'd show you how to make them, and then maybe we'll do a secondary one of later on, maybe tomorrow, of putting one together. So let's turn down and I'll show you what we need. Okay, this is some gold 16 gauge German style wire. It's made by Beadalon. And what you need is not quite 12.5 inches. 13 is fine also. Now I've got a blank already made here, as you can see. And so I don't really need one right now, but we're going to make one to show you how to make it. I know what I'm doing, so, we'll get you going so you can see how to make these as well. Now I just moved this one's piece of this one, so we got to move it back sort of into place so they match a little better. I like to have our blanks to match, even though when it comes right down to it, they are on either side of your head. You need two, and they have to be opposite to each other. So there are the two that I already have made. These are going to be for this pair of fairy ears. So, and then we will make some more. But this is what they look like. So let's cut two pieces, though I'll probably only make the one today, though I might make more. We'll see. So we cut, what we need is about 13 inches of wire. Now I will tell you, doing wire work likes to go off camera, so I'm hoping I won't be off too much while we do this, but it's a possibility, unfortunately. Because with a long piece of wire, you tend to just naturally bring it towards you to work on it, and then it slides out of place. Okay, that one's already flattened out. So we will cut the extra little bit off this, and I will cut another piece of wire. Even if we don't get a second one made of a blank, we'll at least have the wire ready to do. So again, like I said, we need about 12 inches. Well, it's closer to 13 probably, because I always put in a little extra. So what I do is I push our wires together and just keep rolling them together till I get to where I'm at the other side of where I need to be at, and then we'll cut it right there. So those wires are the same length. And we'll put this back into the tray and put it up. So we have our 12-inch piece of wire here. We'll put this slightly to the side. And what we want to do first is take our bell making pliers. And I'm going to use my smaller set here, the smaller of the two sizes. And we're just going to roll a loop. And I'm going to cut this off just a hair's breadth, because they tend to square up when you're first looping. And I don't want them to square too horribly much. So we'll cut the edge off, and then we'll just keep looping. We want about a loop and a half. And as you know, that wasn't the proper way to do it. You should have used my flat nose pliers to do that, but there we go. We've got it done. I just squished it into place. So now what we need to do is take our wire mandrel and we're going to wrap around. Actually, this is the one I use a Beadalon, because your ear is relatively good size, so you need a little bit more. It's funny, this particular set of beads that are left here is elf. So I'm going to take this bottle, though I think these are probably close to the same size. Yeah, this is a little smaller. You could do either way. If you have a wire mandrel, you could always do it, but just not wrap it really tight. So put this on here and bring her around. And just sort of half form her up here. And then what we're going to do is, because we want it to be, now it needs, see how it's very rounded here? That's great, but we want, this is going to go around your ear. So we want it to be not quite so rounded. It's going to go like so. So it would have been fine to, instead of using a bottle, to use our other. But now what we want to do is we need to take, and we need to make this curve. So to do that, take your flat nose pliers. I'm going to make this one up a little higher because it doesn't need to be that low, and just bend it this way. Then you're going to put your pliers in here, and you're going to bend it this way. Now I have two sets of flat nose pliers. These ones are got a smaller blade. See the difference between my two blades? So I'm going to take this one, and it's going to go right here, and I'm going to bend it there. So we have a little bit of space here, but we don't have an atrocious lot. So then again, we're going to take these, go back this direction, and bend it up. So here we go. We've got the ear cuff part. Now we're going up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pliers again, and we're going to roll this direction. And again, we're going to do exactly the same thing as we did when we did the other one, and that's, we're going to cut this little bit off right here at the end. And then we're going to wrap it. And again, I'm going to just wrap it like that, and then take my pliers and squish them down into together. Now, that's not the real way to make a spiral. You can do it by just taking your flat nose and doing a wrap, like just take like so and wrap that way. Now what we want to do is decide about halfway point up this piece of wire. So let's take our tape measure, and we're going to measure from where that curl is right there to where our bend is down below. So go here, snug it up into the curl. Come on. The catch on this particular tape measure doesn't always catch anymore, so it doesn't want to stay where I put it. So right here is about 7 inches. So we'll go 3.5 inches up to right here. Put our pliers, our flat nose pliers in there again, and now we're going to bend down. Voila, there's our fairy ear. But we want to make sure we've got a good bend right there. And now we have to do some forming. So to form this, we're going to take our finger and just rub it so we make a sort of rounded edge here, like so. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. Now the difference is, if you notice, I did a bigger bow here. And this one is a pretty good one already. I don't need to have it quite as big as this one was. You can see I have a slightly different shape to this now. And I did that on purpose, though it's about the same size as far as our ear itself is concerned, but I made this piece a little bit different shaped. So there is our ear. That's about what we need to do. Now this will need to pull out because let's face it, this is going around. This is going to be the back of your ear here. This is the front of your ear here. And so when it fits on, it's gonna slide across the back of your ear, and this is gonna sit on the front, and then your decoration will be in the middle of your ear here. So there is ear number 1 all done. And to make ear number 2, you do exactly the same thing, except you reverse it. So we're gonna take our pliers, and we're going to do our first little roll. Come on, off. Cut that little notch off that we said we're going to cut off because it's too straight there. Get our pliers back out. Go around. Now, like I said, this is actually, I went and just rolled it with the plier and then snapped it down into place. This is what the real way to do a loop is, and that's you put your flat nose on and then you work it around. Now the next step of course is our bottle, and like I say, you could use your wire mandrel. I think it might be a little bit bigger, but I just take a little bottle like this. And any bottle that's about the size that you need will work, and then just bring her around. Oop. Poke myself. And bring her around. And now you want to compare it to your other one. You can see how much different I am here. So we want it to go like that, so we want to straighten this out some. We're too high up there, so we're going to bring it down. And straighten this side up while we're at it. So as you can see, I've got them a little bit different, but they're not so much different that they are going to create an issue, I don't think. But this has a little higher spot here, and it's a little more rounded here, I think. Let's see if we got that closer. Okay, now my tools are actually getting in my way here, so I can't put them down against each other so well. So this comes down here, and as you can see, even though this is looking good, this needs to come over a little bit, and a little bit more yet. So there we go. Now we've got these about where we want them. So this is where we've got to put that first bend in place. So we'll put our pliers here and bend. Now I went and did a little wonky bend there, but that's all right. I can straighten it back out again. And we're a little farther than we need it down anyway, so that's fine. We will pull it up some. Now we want to make our bend that goes sideways like this. So we want the opposite direction. Remember, we're going this way, so we want this to come up. So we're going to put this here. We're going to bend it here. Get our small pliers in. And incidentally, that bend is not a good bend, really. It's not real sharp. So now we've got this piece here. Now we need this piece to go, and actually this bend should be let's see, I got to make sure I've got this going the right direction. We want them to be opposite, remember? So we want this bend to go over this way. And I think that I'm going to have to do a little reversing here because I think I have my wire here in the wrong spot because it should have gone to the other side. See, if I do this, no, that's right, because we've got to be opposite. This is the interior of both. We want this to be the exterior. So we're going to now bend this, but it's got to go over like here. And it's not quite straight there, so we want to straighten that out there. Make sure we're going the opposite direction still. Okay. Now, the other bend goes right here. And we need to go in like this. See it like this, so we can bend it up. Now we're going to, we can either do what we did with this one and do the spiral and then go and then bend it there, or since we now know where we want our bend to be at, we can just put them right beside each other like so. Try and get our bends about the same so that we don't have them all wonked out to each other. And then we're going to go up to the top, and we know our bend should be about right here. But the first thing we're going to do is try and get our wires more or less being the same way along the edge here. Because, let's face it, we're a pair. They need to be a pair. They need to be pretty much the same. They won't be identical. They're handmade, but we can get them close. So see, I have this one bent out here because of going around your ear. So we want this to go about like this. And now we need to do the bend right here. So see how we've got this bent here? Get these close to each other here. And bend this down. So pretty close right there. They may not be perfect, but they're pretty darn close. So there we go. Now, because that is sort of a soft bend still, we're going to go in here and firm it up some so that our bend is more more distinct. So there we go. Now we need to bring this one down and around so that it will have this loop in it. And it needs to come in here. Now this loop is not as, I don't have it as deep as the other loop yet, but I'm going to put my my spiral on the end before I finish worrying about it. Come on, you turn. There we go. So now that we've got these like this, we need to get this one, and this is on the other side. Get it straightened up some here. Now we'll want to bring these together again and see if we've got our loop in the proper spot. This needs a little bit more work, and I'd say she's pretty good. Now, as I've said before, it's not perfect, but it's pretty darn close. So there is our set of ear blanks. And this one, as you can see, is not quite curled. One of these is not curled as much as the other because the bottom piece is hanging out slightly differently. So let's see if we can figure out which one is not behaving quite right. Looks like it's maybe this one. Or maybe it's the bottom one, the earpiece here. I think that might be actually be what it is. So let's get you guys back together there. They're looking pretty good. Good enough. Because as I say, we are handmade. We're not supposed to be perfect. So there is our fairy elf blanks, and this wire needs to see how it's curled there. We don't want that, so we'll push these together here a little more and then bring this one out some. That's bowed a little bit there to that side, and we don't want that, so we'll get that going. And so there we go. And as you can see, they are opposites, though of course on your ears would be going this way. So this one has more curve to it, as you can see, so we can either bring this up like so, or we can bring this one back over here a little bit. But there's our set of fairy ears, blanks, all finished. Okay, I've put my tools away. As you can see, our blanks are the opposites of each other, like I said, and they will go on either ear, one on either side, and then we have to have some decoration on them. Now, I haven't decided on the decoration on this set. I could just use the pieces I already have for this one already made on this set, and what we're going to do with this is I'm going to wire wrap these guys into the corner here, bring another one down here, so we have two going along here, and then we're going to take this sprig of flowers and put it right across here, and then I'm going to wire wrap some of these pretty purple crystals and green crystals up the edges. Probably only put about 3 or 4 on this side, maybe 5, and we'll probably have a good 9 down on the other side to give the color. But that's what we're going to do with these fairy ears. I'm going to widen this just a little bigger. So this step will be a different step to put the pieces together. Now I do have 2 or 3 sets made, so we can probably decorate a pair of these tomorrow. There we go. We didn't finish them, but we did start them and make the blank. So to wear these, you take this, I'm gonna have to go sideways to you here, And you take, this piece is the piece that goes right here in the front. So then the loop that we made goes around the back of your ear. Grab the lower one and just pull it down. And then this upper one stays on top of your ear, and then you have the decorations in there. Whatever you decide is a decoration will go in the inside the loop here. And my ear is not sitting in here properly, it doesn't look like, because my ear wants to flop out. But it would be right across there. So that's how you wear them. Probably need some adjusting so that they pull out from my ear a little bit more, but that's all right. That's the way it works. And I think these are going to be cute little fairy ears. Hope you enjoyed making those with me. And anyway, the blanks, we obviously haven't finished the ears themselves, but the blanks are made. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.